Okay guys, today I'm gonna talk here about the 7 reasons why Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial art for self-defense. So guys, in my opinion, the number 1 reason, it's because the extensive sparring sessions that Jiu-Jitsu gives you. So in many martial arts, you don't even have sparring sessions at all. And in Jiu-Jitsu, we do have a lot of sparring sessions. And it's a lot of time in the training session. So for example, if you do Jiu-Jitsu consistently, you're probably sparring like 30, 40, 45 minutes every session, or even more or a little less. So over time, that adds up a lot. And if you think about all other martial arts, many of them don't even have sparring sessions. And the ones that do, it's not for a very long time. I'm talking about the average person, right? I'm not talking professional athletes. But for example, I don't think you can do kickboxing and do sparrings for 45 minutes if you are just a regular person who has a regular job and you're like over 40 years old or something like that. And in Jiu-Jitsu you can. In Jiu-Jitsu you can be 50 years old, you have a family, you have a regular job, and you do sparrings every day for 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I think like the Jiu-Jitsu has this extensive sparring sessions that over time adds up a lot and gives you a lot of like baggage gives you a lot of like confidence and you have a lot of knowledge from those sparring sessions. The number 2 reason, in my opinion, is the very realistic approach that Jiu-Jitsu gives you leading up to the sparring session. So because you do so many sparrings, you have this very realistic approach of how is to fight. Because if you think about on a Jiu-Jitsu sparring session, only punches and kicks are not allowed. Everything else is pretty much allowed. So you get that sense of how is to fight against another human. Another reason that I believe it's because you learn how to control people. Many martial arts don't teach you that. They teach you how to punch. But even though like they don't have as many sparring sessions, so you don't really learn how to control humans, you know, like you don't really learn like what are the places that you gotta control the other person, make sure that the person cannot attack you, for example. Then the other reason I believe is because Jiu-Jitsu teaches you leverage and technique to use over strength. So it doesn't matter if the other person is way stronger than you. If you really learn Jiu-Jitsu, you learn how to use leverage and technique against that person. So the person which is way stronger than you, you're not gonna feel that just because you have leverage and techniques. Then the reason number 5, in my opinion, it's that Jiu-Jitsu is a very comprehensive self-defense. So for example, you learn how to take down your opponent, you learn how to get the mounts, how to do knee on belly, you learn how to be on borrow, you learn how to get out of like strangles and when people are just like hugging your head. When someone never done Jiu-Jitsu before, they love like hugging the head, right? So you learn how to escape from those situations. And depending on the place you train, maybe you even learn a little bit about punches and kicks. Like there are some self-defense class in Jiu-Jitsu class that you learn the very basics about punching and how to get out of the punch and go for the double leg and things like that. So you learn a little bit of that as well. You get a little sense of how it would be to use self-defense on a fight, Jiu-Jitsu and self-defense on a fight. And then, in my opinion, the reason number 6 is because you get a lot of mental strength and physical strength. What do I mean with that? So if you do Jiu-Jitsu, you're gonna notice that you're gonna start getting some mental strength on your mind, because so many times you get put on uncomfortable positions and you have to handle those positions before you escape. So it really builds a lot of mental strength, because all the time you're in bad spots and you have to get out of those bad spots and this and that. And also, you're gonna also develop body strength. So most of the people who do Jiu-Jitsu consistent, they ended up getting like really strong. It's very common to see like people, Jiu-Jitsu guys with like the 6-pack and this and that, just because you're constantly using your entire body against another human. So that's another factor as well. And then the last one, number 7, in my opinion, is the adaptability. So when you do jiu-jitsu, you learn to adapt to all type of environments. Because, for example, sometimes you are like 150 pounds and you're training with a guy who's 250 pounds. So you have to adapt your whole game for that situation. Sometimes you are 250 pounds and you're training with this guy who is 130 pounds and you have to adapt to your game as well. Sometimes you have never done judo before and you're training against this guy who is black belt in judo. So you have to adapt to your game to that situation. Same thing with wrestling. So I truly believe that jiu-jitsu really helps you to become help you to adapt to any situation. And when you talk about self-defense, that's exactly what you're talking about, right? You don't know what's coming. So you're gonna need to adapt to whatever is coming. And then the last disclaimer I'm gonna make here, guys, is that I think it's very important to understand why jiu-jitsu is very good for self-defense, but what are the cons as well? And in my opinion, the big con that you should be aware is that if there's a group of people trying to fight against you, there's a chance that jiu-jitsu is not going to be the best weapon, because jiu-jitsu is kind of like a one-on-one type of thing. Like you're going to take that person down, or maybe you're going to go to the person's back, or maybe you're just going to control the person. But if there is a group of people, that's going to be hard. But in the same time, like any other martial arts would be hard against 7 people, against 10 people, for example, right? I think in some case, the best self-defense is to run. If there's 7 people trying to catch you or something, I think running might be better than trying to fight them. But anyways, I think those are my the 7 things that I made a note here. So I'm just going to repeat them here very quick. So the extensive sparring sessions, that was the number 1 in my opinion. The very realistic scenario that jiu-jitsu brings you because the sparrings. The fact that you learn how to control people, right? You really learn how to control humans. The fact that you learn how to use leverage and technique over strength. That's another reason. The fact that jiu-jitsu itself is very comprehensive. Like you learn takedowns, you learn guard, you learn how to stay on top, you learn submissions, you learn escapes. Maybe even learn a little bit of punches and kicks as well, if there are self-defense classes on your gym. And this and that, and also mental strength and physical strength. So when you do jiu-jitsu, you develop a lot of mental strength and physical strength. And the last one, adaptability. So you learn how to adapt to all type of scenarios and take advantage of those scenarios. And most of people, like, they don't know how to adapt to things. So guys, those are the 7 things in my opinion. And we also talked here about how the pros and cons of jiu-jitsu. So the little con would be like, if there's a group of people trying to attack you, I think you would do much better than the average person who has never done anything. Just because you're ready to fight, you fight every day. But I mean, like, I guess 7 people grappling on the floor might not be the best option. The best option might be either to run or maybe try to throw a punch on someone and run, something like that. Or ask for help or whatever that is. So guys, this is my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I put a lot of fun on this. So I hope I gave you a good advice here on this subject. I'm going to keep making more of those videos. So I hope you guys are enjoying. And also make sure to check all instructor videos at IBJJFanatics.com. We have a ton of self-defense videos over there as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.